Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're in right now when you're listening to this. My name is Cymarshall Law, and welcome back to the Cymarshall Law Show, where we stay true to ourselves and never conform. We appreciate y'all coming back to rock with us today. We got a great episode. One of my favorite laws in my book is what we're going to be talking about. It's law number 23, the Jordan number, so you know it's got to be good. Before we get into the show, as per usual, let's start the tone, the day right with our affirmations, positive sayings, meditations, prayers, our thank yous, really. And we start like this. Can I kick it? You already know. Yes, I can. Universal God, Most High, Jah, cosmic intelligence, creator of all things, one above all. Thank you for allowing us to wake up today full of hope, full of purpose, full of inner power. Thank you for our insight. Thank you for our foresight. God, thank you for our introspection. God, thank you for prosperity. Thank you for abundance on top of abundance on top of abundance. Thank you for clarity of mind. Thank you for a sound mind. Thank you for understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. Said that backwards, so sometimes we need to understand them first. Universal God, thank you for true friends. Thank you for genuine family members that support us. Thank you for sending us the right people to support us in the ways that we need. Universal God, thank you for nutrition, proteins, minerals, all the good food that we eat that allows us to get up and do what we need to do each day. Thank you for our children growing in the right ways and representing our families well. Thank you for our ancestors that passed down knowledge to us that allow us to be great today. Thank you for us striving for greatness. God, thank you for new opportunities. Thank you for growth. God, thank you for everything. Thank you for the sun, moon, stars, wind, earth, fire. Thank you for passion. Thank you for compassion. Thank you for today. We love you. Thank you. Now let's start the show. So the show today is going to be based on Law 23 in my book, I Still Love H.E.R, the 52 Laws of Freedom, available on Amazon and wherever you can find it. So Law 23 is the things you fight for should also fight for you. Again, Law 23, the things you fight for should also fight for you. Let's get into it. Law 23. The things you fight for should also fight for you. I was always taught to give without the thought of return. For the most part, this idea has worked for me. When it does not work is when the idea, thought, thing, or person you are giving to or fighting for ends up hurting you. For instance, you could fight to stay in any type of relationship because you feel you bring benefits to that relationship as a whole. Still, if that relationship is taxing to you as an individual, the relationship becomes counterproductive. Most choices you make can be chosen depending on if the end result will better you or better the world around you. You may fight for a cause or a belief system, but when put under the magnifying glass, do those things deem worthy of your effort? You may fight to belong to a team or group, but is that team or group deserving of you? Sometimes the things we put so much value in are not worth the effort we give them if they end up hurting us. I used to spend the majority of my time as a hip-hop artist. Being part of the culture was who I was. Then I realized the culture that I was giving my time, energy, and heart to would not always love me the way I loved it. Sure, I may get paid for some shows, but the pay wasn't consistent, and hip-hop artists don't get health insurance. For years, I fought for hip-hop, but did it ever fight for me? In many ways, it did, and I will always love hip-hop for who it made me become. However, what I needed from something I gave that much of myself to was to have it support me too. If I got injured while giving my spirit to the culture, I wanted the culture to somehow have my back health-wise. Another story, I had a best friend at 13 who went by the MC name Longshot. He was my first rap partner. Longshot used to carry around an old rusty gun in his JanSport book bag just waiting for someone to trouble me. Luckily, while he was around, they did not. We were willing to fight for each other because we valued each other. Know your value. Know whether something or someone is worth fighting for and how much of your life this thing is worth to you. Situations or people must do their part to maintain the relationship the same way you do. The verse. I am gonna win. Verse 3. I got 3 kids, I love all of them the same. So when I get hurt, I'll be swallowing the pain. And when I have a problem, it's not the bottle that I drain. No, you gotta be insane. I got knowledge in the brain. In negative times, I always got a positive attitude. Cause my kid's always gonna imitate what daddy do. Size bold takes the higher road, street or avenue. Liars fold until I am old, I'm gonna battle you. Fight for what you believe in and what you find is true. But sometimes what you believe in should also fight for you. I got the courage of a lion you attracted to. The confidence gained when facing a fear is unmatchable. You heard the kid, don't act like my flame isn't flammable. Word to big, this game made me an animal. Though no one knows the future and it remains a mystery, I can't see the loss, but I can clearly see the victory. The breakdown. 1. I got 3 kids, I love all of them the same. So when I get hurt, I'll be swallowing the pain. And when I have a problem, not the bottle that I drain. No, you gotta be insane. I got knowledge in the brain. Having children is the greatest blessing the universal gods could ever bless a family with. When I was at my lowest, it was the smile on my children's faces that propelled me to keep on. You have children that never asked you to come to earth. Now we have done our part in getting them here. I feel it is our universal duty as parents to fight for them and be their first protectors. The fight in me will always be fiery because I am fighting for them. 2. In negative times, always got a positive attitude, cause my kid's only gonna imitate what daddy do. Sire's bold takes the higher road, street or avenue. Liars fold until I am old, I'm gonna battle you. Fight for what you believe in and what you find is true. But sometimes, what you believe in should also fight for you. The pain you feel in the fight is bearable when what you are fighting for is worth it. The thought of the pain touching what I love makes me want to work even harder to secure the win. It is not often that the apple falls too far from the tree, and if it ends up far from the tree, it was probably very intentional. The key to winning is loving the fight because you know what you're fighting for is worth a piece of your life, not the trophy you or I may get in the end. Really? I feel you won even if you got up to fight in the first place. All I ever wanted was for my children to see every day I got up and fought for them, because if they saw that, I knew it was very likely they would also fight back when life threw punches at them. And as long as I created kids who would fight back, then I knew I won. 3. I got the courage of a lion you attracted to. The confidence gained when facing your fear is unmatchable. You heard the kid. Don't act like my flame isn't flammable. Word to big. This game made me an animal. Though no one knows the future and it remains a mystery, I can't see the loss, but I can clearly see the victory. Confidence is attractive. When I was younger, I remember seeing some of the physically challenged in the face looking brothers courting some of the most finest queens. As handsome as girls would say I was, my lips used to get tight and not move every time I went to talk to a girl. I mean, yeah, I was like 11 or 12, but they must have thought I was dumb as hell, just sitting there smiling. Once again, I digress. Confidence is attractive. Standing on stage, fearlessly speaking what I believe always gives me an unlimited type of power. I felt like a god with that mic in my hand. And I think the crowd felt that on me. The same confidence I felt on stage later on in life, I found was a similar rush to when I would defy odds or break down a life barrier. Certain people thought I would be stuck forever. There is nothing like the rush of the challenge, declaring the win before it's manifested, then bringing it to reality. It might look kind of crazy right now. Kind of crazy for you. You don't know where the future's gonna lead. You know what I'm saying? but you gotta be able to see where you gotta go in your head in order to get there. See what I'm saying? I can't see the loss, but I can quite clearly see the victory. My girl broke up with me, said she needed to grow. Found out she did some things that I needed to know. Got me displaying emotions I ain't eager to show. Damn right, I need some liquor or beef for the blow. I didn't wanna see it, but it looks like the fucking end. Thought she tried to play me when she said he was just a friend. Loved her with all my heart, so to me it wasn't fair. When she ended us, it was confusing and it wasn't clear. How she would talk to other niggas like I wasn't there. Used to be the warmest, now it seemed like she didn't wanna care. Her icy stare looked at me and said get over it. I couldn't believe that this was someone that I once knew. Hit me with the 1-2, it was a knockout early. Worse, she claimed that she wasn't trying to hurt me. Never thought this would happen to me, no way. Still expect me to win, cause I'ma be okay. Always been a standout, but I want in. I'm just somebody trying to do my thing. But times been rough and times been grim. Still I know in the end that I am gonna win. Forget for when I might sin. I've been through the storms, the clouds, the wind. Some things might hurt, some things might sting, but I know in the end that I am gonna win. They saw that I'm hot, now they want me to start falling and drop. Expect a blessing when the devil don't know that he got. He stays a lesson and a level as I draw to the top. My mind's a weapon, better settle, this is caution to stop. Pay attention, in chaotic times you gotta listen. During pain you will gain the most in his strength and wisdom. So told old girl I'm packing, I'm gone. And humble myself when I had to move back in my mom. Thought this is so wrong, it's probably right. But the dark not stopping my sight, now I gotta see light. You couldn't know you can, the greatest lie man told. I had to lose everything to gain it back tenfold. I've been through the wire and I've been through the fire, and I poured back proof that I'm the truth and you a liar. So thinking that I might break down or crack, a mathematician wouldn't even count on that. Always been a standout, but I want in. I'm just somebody trying to do my thing. But times been rough and times been grim. Still I know in the end that I am gonna win. Forget for when I might sin. I've been through the storms, the clouds, the wind. Some things might hurt, some things might sting, but I know in the end that I am gonna win. I got 3 kids, I love all of them the same. That's why when I get hurt, I be swallowing the pain. And when I have a problem, not the bottle that I drain. No, you gotta be insane, I got knowledge in the brain. In negative times, always got a positive attitude. Cause my kids only gonna imitate what daddy do. Science bold takes the higher road, straight avenue. Liars fall into wire mode, I'm gonna battle you. Fight for what I believe in and what I find is true. But sometimes what you believe in should also fight for you. I got the courage of a lion, you attracted to. The confidence gained when facing the fear is unmatchable. Heard the kid, don't act like my flame is inflammable. Word to big, this game made me an animal. Don't know who knows the future, it remains a mystery. I can't see the loss, but I can clearly see the victory. Always been a standout, but I want in. I'm just somebody trying to do my thing. But times been rough and times been grim. Still I know in the end that I am gonna win. Forget for when I might sin. I've been through the storms, the clouds, the wind. Some things might hurt, some things might sting, but I know in the end that I am gonna win. Yeah, and you know that. Give me the controller and I'm taking that first place trophy. The metaphorical controller for life, that is. My name is Cymarshall Law. Thank you for coming back to the show. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, share it with your people. We are growing. The podcast is getting out there all over the world. I've had some listeners reach out to me from some crazy countries. So it's definitely getting out there. So I appreciate everyone following and listening on all types of devices. Since I started doing videos, sometimes doing the interviews that I do, I feel like some listeners have started to come more to YouTube, but I do have a lot of listeners on like Apple Podcasts that they're just like all over the place. So I appreciate you wherever you're at listening or watching. I appreciate you, and please continue to share the show. The Cymarshall Law Show, where we what? Stay true to ourselves and never conform. So yeah, we're talking about the law number 23. What you fight for should also fight for you. There's so many ways to think about this. You can think about it in terms of a significant other, like a relationship you might have with someone. You can look at it in terms of your own parents. You can look at it in terms of your children. You can look at it in terms of your career, your profession, your job, a passion you have. So let's say you're talking about your significant other. You're doing A, B, C for them. You're, you're like, as far as you're concerned, you're doing everything in your power to be the perfect partner for them, and you're continuing to pour into them. You're actually seeing them get better by what you're able to pour into them. But the issue becomes, are they pouring into you the same way? Are they making you better the same way you're making them better? Because it's all good for you to make someone better. That's what we all want to be doing. We want to make the next person better. But at the same time, if you're just always pouring and pouring and pouring, you're going to end up empty. You are going to end up empty. So I feel like life is about evolution. And the way we evolve is by growing with like-minded or growing with people that have better ideas than us. But if we're always the one giving the ideas and just giving, how can we ever grow or evolve? You can even look at it in terms of not you growing or evolving, but the people around you. How do they grow or evolve? Because let's say you have a child and you're doing everything for this child. Like you're cleaning for them, you're cooking for them, they're old and you're still doing everything you can do for them. At some point, it becomes that you're not helping them, you're hurting them, because when they get out into the world by themselves and they don't have you to do all these things for them, they're going to be looked at as less than, because everyone around them is going to be, doing what they're supposed to have been doing for a long time because they didn't have someone helping them at every step of the way. So when you're in this space of giving of yourself, even if the receiver is very thankful for everything they're receiving, if they're not putting back, like showing you that they're growing from, not only are they growing from what you're giving them, they're able to help you grow back. Whatever you're throwing at them, they're able to throw it back to you, so you can keep on doing what you're doing and they keep on doing what they're doing, and both of you are just vibrating higher together and higher and higher and higher. But sometimes you have to recognize things are fighting for you, just not in the way you want them to fight for you. And sometimes you give to a situation or a person and you want them to give back to you in the exact same way, but they don't know how to show up for you the same way you show up for them. But they do show up for you, just in different ways. So that was one issue I had in my life, where I thought that, everyone should do everything that I should be doing. But I just found out that people do give back, and it might not be in the ways that I like. And if I don't like it, I don't have to take it. However, sometimes people are fighting for you just in the way that they know how, and the way they know how, you might not even recognize that as a fight, but to them, they might be putting up the hugest fight. It's like two people can love each other, and one person can be all about physical love, like kissing, hugging, beyond that. And the other person may have just as much love in their heart, but the way they show love might not be through physical love. It might not be through like touching or kissing or whatever that be. They might show love by like caring, like making sure dinner is made every night, or making sure the laundry's done every day, or making sure the kids' homework is done. So they show up in different ways. So a lot of times people get into situations where they do feel like what they're fighting for should give back to them, and they feel like they're not getting back what they should be getting back, but in fact they are. Sometimes they're getting back more than what they're putting in. It's just that what they're getting back, they can't recognize it because it's not being given to them in the way that their eyes can see it. But in saying that, sometimes we do pour into these situations and they do not give anything back to us. And we have to recognize when that happens. And every situation, I believe, you can learn from. There's always a silver lining in the cloud. However, don't get it twisted. You can get in an effed up situation where you're just giving and giving, and the only lesson to be learned there will be that you were tripping. Word up. So in the realm of, let's say, science, the concept of reciprocal relationships is evident in various places. One example is like the symbolic relationships found in nature. So in a mutualistic relationship, both parties benefit and support each other, right? For instance, bees and flowers have a mutualistic relationship where bees get nectar for food and flowers get pollinated. This natural give and take ensures the survival and thriving of both species. I feel like that's the way all things should be. Let's say the idea that things you fight for should also fight for you aligns with the principles of justice and fairness all across the board. Someone like the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle emphasized the importance of virtue and the idea that virtuous actions lead to a virtuous life. So when individuals fight for justice, truth, and any noble cause, they are often rewarded with a sense of fulfillment and purpose. And this reciprocal relationship between action and reward is central to many ethical theories. So it's just like what you fight for should also be fighting for you all across the board. You could have a job where you're going hard for your boss. You're working overtime. You're coming in early. I know some of you have jobs like that. You got the day off. The boss is calling you. One time I was in England and this guy I was working for called me. I looked at the phone like, is this dude crazy? I picked up and I helped out. But that same job, if they didn't want me anymore, do you think they were going to give me the same grace? Or you think they were just going to tell me beat it? So you're putting in all this work and effort for these things. Just make sure you're getting back the same value. Otherwise, the only lesson you might learn is that you're tripping. I feel like things that you fight for. And even if they're not fighting for you in the way that you want them to fight for you, you got to appreciate and be thankful and grateful that they are fighting sometimes. It's just that when they're not fighting in any way, you're in a relationship, you're working on yourself, the both of you got to change, both of you got to work on yourselves. But if just one of you is working on your character flaws and the other one's not, trying to get higher or move to a better place in life, don't get it twisted. Your partner, your job, whatever you're fighting for, as noble as you want it to be, that thing can drag your ass down. Don't get it twisted. So if you're trying to pull something up, just recognize everything is not supposed to be pulled up. And some things only end up on their own. And the more you try to pull them up, the more you try to get out of a situation, what you're giving into a situation, sometimes the harder it is for that to happen. You just got to let it flow. The law of least resistance, we should call that. There probably is a law like that. Deepak Chopra probably has that. Shakti, go on. I digress. Well, I don't actually. I feel like that's really all I got to say on the subject. I feel like I said a lot. And I feel like in practical terms, the law can be applied to various aspects of your life. So just really think about that this week. The things you fight for should also fight for you. A timeless principle that can be observed in history, science, philosophy, creatively, and emphasizes the importance of relationships and the idea that our efforts and struggles are not in vain when they are aligned with the noble and just causes that we fight for. We encourage each other to fight for each other. We fight for what we believe in, knowing that our fight will be met with support and strength from the very things we are fighting for. My name is Cymarshall Law. Let me stop. You can tell I'm really enjoying myself up here. I hope you're enjoying the show as well. Let's get into a lovely song that I heard. I'm going to get into the book and movie of the week and quote of the day. Then we're going to get out of here. I love y'all. Let's get into it. My name is Cymarshall Law. Let's go. Cymarshall and I'm coming to get down. Yeah. Yeah, I'm always saying that around my house. My kids probably are annoyed with me at this point because they wake up for school or they hear, Big Cymarshall and I'm coming to get down. So we're talking about the things that fight for you, or excuse me, the things that you fight for should also fight for you. And I want to get into the book of the week. And the one I chose it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. And the reason I chose it is because yourself is the main person you should be fighting for. So the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People give 7 highly effective ways for you to fight for yourself. It's a transformative book that's helped millions of people achieve personal and professional success. I could talk about it for a while. It's a self-help book that outlines 7 habits that can lead to, like I said, professional and personal success. And he emphasizes principles such as proactivity, goal setting, continuous improvement, and it really fits this topic because the habits Covey advocates for are about fighting for personal and professional growth. And these habits, when practiced, support individuals in achieving their goals and improving their lives. Some of the habits are be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put things first, think win-win, synergize, which is, as a summary, the habit is about leveraging the strengths of others through teamwork and collaboration. It involves valuing differences and combining efforts to achieve greater results. Sharpen the saw, which is the habit focuses on self-renewal and continuous improvement. It involves taking care of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And, regular self-renewal ensures that you remain effective and resilient, and it really helps in maintaining a balanced life and prevents burnout. And there's no way you're going to fight for yourself if you're burnt out. You want to allow yourself to sustain long-term success. So yeah, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Cymarshall Law's book of the week. I sincerely feel you should get out and buy this book or rent it or whatever have you. And I feel like it'll help your life. It certainly helped mine when I read it. So going right along to the movie of the week. The movie is not a nonfiction movie. It's a fiction movie. It is a fiction movie. And I just recently watched it. When I say recently, I finished it today. And I had to make it the movie of the week. Listen. So the movie is called, and some of you may have seen it because it's been promoted a bit on this platform. It just dropped about a week ago. But if you haven't seen it, it might be one of those movies that you just skip over, that you think, it's probably not hitting because it's a Netflix movie. Listen. Rebel Ridge on Netflix. So, to speak on the movie without spoiling it too much, there's a guy who's going to get his family member out of jail, and he's a good guy, and he means well, and he's taken everything he can afford to get his family member out of jail. On his way there, he gets stopped by some police officers, and things take a turn. Now, it fits because fighting for justice and peace is something that we do every day. And you would think that justice and peace in the form of officers of the law are always fighting for you. So, in this particular moment, that's not what happened. So the things you fight for should also fight for you. I do not want to spoil it, but I do want to say you should absolutely watch this movie as soon as possible. I never knew about this actor, and I feel like he has a bright future. I feel like he can do all types of things. Maybe play the new Spawn, maybe play the new Green Lantern. He has that type of aura. Super dope movie. Check it out. Rebel Ridge. Watch it. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the DMs, messages, wherever y'all can find me at. Hit me. So yeah, that is it. I'm going to end the show right now. I'm going to end with the quote of the week. So the quote of the week, it's anonymous, but I love it. And it goes like this. Never put them first if you always come last. Never give your all if you only get half. Let me say it one more time. Never put them first if you always come last. Never give your all if you only get half. Let me read one more. I was reading another one. Some people expect to have a place of priority in your life, but then treat you as a non-factor in theirs. Prioritization needs to be reciprocal. People lie, but actions are tangible proof of their intention. So forget what they say and watch what they do consistently. Then spend your time and energy on those to whom you are deemed important to. That one is by... Jeez, I can't pronounce this one. Micaism. Micaism. Excuse my non-reading skills this morning, this day, whatever time it is for you. Anyhow, my name is Cymarshall Law. This has been another episode of the Cymarshall Law Show, where we stay true to ourselves and never conform. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Until next time, Cymarshall Law, and I'm out like that. Peace.